Hello, my name is Amanda Hill, and I am doing my 3-minute video for Psychology 383. This last week we watched a couple of videos about people that were in treatment, of how they felt these emotions while they were in treatment, and I'm going to use my own personal experience as my 3-minute video. Back in May of 2020, it was time for my son's 7th birthday. And my husband, throughout our whole marriage, has had an addiction problem. When we got together at the time, back in 2012, I did not realize that my husband was a methamphetamine addict. He was coming down off of it, and so when we first got together, things were kind of emotional for him. And everything seemed fine. We got married. I got pregnant with our son James. And he had a relapse whenever James was a baby. And then he started drinking alcohol. And he would go periods of time without using meth. And that's usually whenever he drank alcohol. Anyways, back in May of 2020, my husband had started using again. And he hit his breaking point. And things did not go very well. He came home to my son's birthday party very out there. He thought I was against him. He thought our children was against him. He thought his own family was against him. And that night I had to call the law enforcement here. And the law enforcement didn't know how to deal with my husband. My husband was 6'6" and he weighed about 200 pounds. And so what the law enforcement did was they had me and our 3 children leave. Of course, the courthouse was already closed down and I couldn't do anything about the situation. So I went and stayed at a family member's house until the next morning. And then I came to the courthouse and I-96'd my husband. Whenever I got home, my house was all tore up and stuff from where he was mad and angry and had all these emotions going before the cops came and took him to the hospital. And my husband wrote, "I know I messed up everything. I always do. I can't hold this family together anymore. And I hate myself for being so weak. We needed each other at the same time and we both fell apart. One day I pray we can be a family again. I love you guys so much. I hate myself for giving in to my addiction, but it hurts so bad hearing nothing I did mattered. That I lost myself again. James, I'm going to make this up to you as soon as I'm able. Please don't be mad at the world. Life's awesome. You're awesome. I love you and your sister and your brother more than you can imagine. Amanda, I love you. Sorry from the bottom of my heart. You are and always will be my best friend. I love you." And then on the back of it, he wrote, "I love you with everything I'm about." I wanted to get him out of the hospital whenever I read this, but I knew I did not have the tools to help him. And so I left him in the hospital for a week. They did more than the 96 hours. And they found methamphetamine in his system. They found alcohol in his system. And I don't believe they did everything that they could have done, because they released him and just gave him a piece of paper of facilities where he could get help. And a month later, my husband and our 3 children, while I was at work, went to the creek, had a great day, played, and on their way home, my husband was drinking and he wrecked. He was halfway ejected from the vehicle. My 7-year-old was ejected from the vehicle. My 12-year-old and 3-year-old stayed inside the truck because my daughter somehow, some way, kept her little brother from leaving the vehicle. And now my kids go to counseling twice a week to not only deal with the trauma from their dad being an addict, they go to counseling to deal with the car accident. If our law enforcement was more educated on how to deal with addicts, and the community was more educated on how to deal with addicts, or if maybe the hospital would have gave me more information, more tools, I think things could have been different.